Hello folks, so one thing that has been on my mind over the weekend is, should I sell my SoundHound AI shares? After all, the stock has gone up 190% year to date. It just released some pretty disappointing earnings and it crashed nearly 20% on Friday. So should I just get out with my profit, which is around 50%, and move my money elsewhere? Well, I'm going to give you 4 reasons why I will not be selling my shares next week, and they are: we're in a bull market, the AI bubble is just getting started, the trend is still up for SoundHound, and there is potential for near-term catalysts. All these factors combined give me reason to expect further upside rather than downside. Before we begin, most of you are not subscribed yet, so please hit that like and subscribe button to get instant updates when I post SoundHound videos. And also, I'm not a financial advisor, so take all my content with a grain of salt and seek professional financial advice if you need to. With that said, let's begin with some context. In case you didn't know already, we are most definitely in a bull market. Look at this 3-year chart of the Nasdaq, and if this does not look bullish to you, I don't know what else I can say. When you're buying small cap hype stocks like SoundHound, it pays to be on the right side of the broader market. If we were in a bear market, SoundHound would struggle to make any headway without fantastic earnings, which it does not have. And in past bull markets, my experience has been that the big money is made by sitting tight. Take for example Tesla. I initially bought Tesla around April of 2020. It went up swiftly and I sold my shares in November because I thought the market was going to go back down. I ended up with more than 100% gain in just a few months and I thought I was a genius. But guess what? The crash never came and Tesla stock just kept going up. In fact, if I had done nothing and simply held on, I would have quadrupled my money if I had sold during the bear market of 2022. So the moral of the story is, don't get too ahead of yourself and just let the market do its thing. Now, I'm not saying SoundHound is going to go up like Tesla did for a few years. SoundHound is a different type of stock and my exit strategy will be a lot more tactical than it was with a stock like Tesla, but we will cross that bridge when we come to it. My second point is that I believe we are only at the beginning stages of a bubble. This diagram illustrates perfectly the chronology of a bubble. As you can see, valuations go up exponentially in the final third phase of the bull market. This is the crescendo, the finale, the blow off top where everything goes crazy and people are in a frenzy to buy stocks. I don't really see that yet because the leading stocks are still relatively fairly valued. I mean, if you look at Nvidia's valuation metrics, they are very reasonable. For example, its PE ratio is at 69, which is even that excessive for a high growth tech stock, and its forward PE is even lower at 28. Even stocks that have rallied hard like SMCI are at a PE of 71 and a forward PE of 31. Just to put these numbers into context, did you know that at the height of the dot-com bubble more than 20 years ago, Yahoo had a PE ratio of over 200? Furthermore, watch this video of a leading equity strategist who says we are not in a bubble yet.
I don't think the valuations yet are consistent with any kind of bubble or mania or really strong speculative sense of excitement. I think they're reflecting pretty good fundamentals. Now, having said that, valuations are quite full. You know, if you look at the S&P, it's trading at the high end of its range over the last 20 years, even if you exclude the big 7 tech stocks. And we do expect to see relatively moderate profit growth this year, about 8%, for example, in the US and Japan, a little bit less than that in Europe. But as long as profits are growing, we're avoiding recession and interest rates are coming down. Yes, some of that has already been discounted, but we would expect to see moderate upside index returns. But I do think it's going to be more about alpha than beta. Right. In other words, selectivity has already been very important over the last year. I think that will still be the case.
So let's move on to my third point, and that is that SoundHound's price is still on an upward trajectory. In other words, the trend is still up. Look at the price on the daily chart. It's above all key moving averages on high volume. Even with the disappointing earnings report last week, it didn't suffer a catastrophic decline of, say, 50% or more. It actually did quite well to finish above $6 on Friday, and I take that as a bullish sign. Now, we may see continued volatility next week, but unless we see a large stock market correction, I think SoundHound should be fine. I also missed this on Friday, but apparently one of the most prominent analysts in the tech space Dan Ives just raised his forecast for SoundHound stock to $9. Now, I haven't actually seen him come out and talk about SoundHound publicly since the earnings, but hopefully we get to hear something from him next week. Finally, some near-term catalysts that may push the stock price higher. I think the obvious one is getting new and bigger clients. Right now, SoundHound has pretty small clients like White Castle and DS Automobiles, which I haven't even heard of before. Yes, it's owned by Stellantis, which is a huge company, but SoundHound should be pitching to other big companies like Ford and GM. And in the food industry, McDonald's is an obvious target. Another catalyst is raising more capital. I think the CEO should try and raise more capital while the sector is still hot. In my opinion, I really hope he's asking Uncle Jensen over at Nvidia for some more cash. The company is going to need it this year for more R&D, marketing, acquisitions, and hiring more staff. They might even be able to do stock buybacks for the lulz. Another company SoundHound might be able to raise capital from is SoftBank, who is already an investor. Even $100 million here and there is a drop in the ocean for companies like Nvidia and SoftBank, but it would mean a lot to SoundHound. So there you have it, folks. These are my reasons for holding this stock. Again, this is not financial advice and you need to follow your own investment strategy. Let me know in the comments below what you think will happen to SoundHound next week, and don't forget to like and subscribe for daily updates. See you guys tomorrow.